Hey guys, so I've been doing up a lot of onions. These tops would, by a lot of people, be thrown away, and I've been cutting them up and putting them in my food dehydrator, just cutting them up in chunks and laying them on the racks, and it takes about 24 hours and they're totally dry. And what happens is I'm not going to do little mini steps on every little aspect. Most people have common sense and they can figure out if you've got a food dehydrator, you're going to have, you probably already know how to use it. So this here is the dehydrated onion flakes that I got, and I put an oxygen packet in there. They feel dry. They have been sitting here for about a week. I even left the lid off the top just in case, and I wanted to put that in there just in case to make sure. I don't want to have any spoilage. Those will be great for soups, stew. You could put them in beans that you're going to cook in the crock pot. You're short on an onion, throw those in there, they're great. So here's the powder. I've been using 2 different food processors to grind them up. My bigger food processor, I put the big chunks in there like this, and then it pulverizes it down until it fills this. And then this makes, you can see all the green powder on there, this gets it into a finer powder. And then I usually put it in a bowl, that's why that's all green, and let it sit overnight. Just because I want to make sure it's totally dry. And so this is the result of the finer powder that you get. It has the flavor of chives, and it is pretty bright green, as you can see, but I had stuck the bowl in the oven because I felt a little dampness and I was just worried. So there's a little bit of a brownish color that comes when you stick it in the oven. That's okay, it doesn't really affect the flavor too much, just the coloring. This here is more of a brownish, and that's because it stayed in the oven just a little longer. My oven only goes to 175 when you first turn it on, so I tried to remember to turn it off pretty quickly, and it still went ahead and made it kind of brown. So I took this, like what else could I use this for? Onion soup mix. What recipes do I use onion soup mix in? So you can see the difference in the color. The browner is from where it got kind of warmed up in the oven a little bit, and the green is totally dried. I did not stick in the oven. I just let it sit on the counter after it was pulverized. And you can just use any kind of container to store it in. Glass is always best. So guys, I am making dehydrated green onion powder. This is from the tops of our onions. It's very mild. They look like this when they come out of the dehydrator, and then I've been grinding them in my little food processor here. And so it's very mild, like chives. So I took some sour cream and I added just a little bit of garlic powder because it was still a little low on flavor. But I added like 2.5 tablespoons, heaping tablespoons of the green onion powder, flakes. And then I added a little bit of salt and the garlic powder. Oh my goodness, this is so yummy. You will never want to eat pre-packaged onion soup mix again. So I'm going to try it with some yogurt. Same thing. I'm going to mix it in real good. I think it'll taste better once it sits. Probably sit for a couple hours, just like if you're making a homemade onion soup mix. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt to that. Again, it's not much, just for flavor. That's about a half a cup of yogurt in there. And just a tad of garlic powder. And so with my homegrown, Dad grew them, onions, instead of letting all those onion tops go to waste, I've been dehydrating onions like I've never done before. I am just blown away at how good this is. I've not tried it with the yogurt yet. Can't wait to try it. It should be super yummy. But it's real pretty green, kind of like chives. It's a mild onion flavor because of the onion tops. And so I'm going to get a little taste of that right there. It's good. It's very good. You could thin that down a little bit and make like a dressing with that. That is super yummy too. I'll let you know how it tastes when it gets out of the fridge after a few hours. So I went ahead and I took this green onion powder and I was like, recipe for onion soup mix. What could I make with that? So I made onion soup mix dip, and I used my own green onion powder. There's a couple of other YouTube videos out there, and they had them online. They didn't really seem to like their dip that much, but I feel they didn't use enough. They used 1 teaspoon for a cup of sour cream. I used 3 tablespoons, kind of heaping tablespoons when I made mine. And I'll show you that recipe next. It was really awesome. And I did it once with yogurt. I didn't really care for it with the yogurt, but it wasn't bad. The yogurt could have been used on salad, like as a dip. You could have thinned it out a little bit, made like a really nice dip. But this made an awesome vegetable and chip dip. It was really great, and I will start that recipe for you next.